Oh God, I'm gonna be like, "Hello, I'm Hells. I am King Bullyfuck. I'm the, I'm the washed up, raging, hormonal hate commander." Thing, okay, this is prime shit, brother. Short bow rotation. Understand the chain reaction effect and how to abuse the chain reaction on short bow. That's where it differs from me playing Scrapper versus, let's say, someone else playing Scrapper. I abuse the shit out of chain reaction. What chain reaction does, it empowers the shot of a certain skill after you cast it right after the other of the other first cast. You know what I mean? Let's say right now, like my first cast is always gonna be short bow 4, and then I blast it, right? So sometimes I'll short bow 4 and then short bow 2 to get it powered, and then I'll fucking drop a short bow 5, right? And after that, number 3 gets empowered. 10 minutes of logs is like 125 to 150 for an exceptional fucking like scourge. I mean scrapper, right? But if you're doing under 100, then you need to blast a lot more. If you're hitting around, like, let's say 100 to like 110, you're okay. But if you do more than 110 for for a 10-minute log, you're doing exceptional. And when we're pushing in to fucking like nuke them, you have to have the medkit combination ready. So it's literally throw 5, 3, 4, 2, and get out of it. You never want to auto. So it's medkit 5, 3, 4, 2, and swap out of it and get into your longbow. Yeah, so we're all right. So you're all. I'm gonna throw in front of you, and I'll hit 3 the moment that I get up there. That right there, those bomb with the water field is a good safe net for your melee like clashing when you're first clashing with the enemy. Bulwark, medkit, throw in front, and I'll blast, and I'll throw everything on cooldown in medkit, and I'll get out of medkit. So the main thing with using with elixir gun, it's very very niche. You want to make sure that you use a 5 on raw, right? And then the moment that you get into the light field, you blast it, right? And then you target raw and you fumigate into raw. Because of the fact that when raw is facing the enemy, right? So when you get launched back, you're blasting that light field, which is the Condi clear. But when you fumigate from where you got blasted back, you fumigate everybody that's between you and raw. You know what I mean? So let's say you're raw right now, right? So I'll elixir gun on you, I'll blast, and I'll fumigate from right here where I land, and I'll push back into raw. Yeah, and then the thing is, if you can get a fucking elixir gun 2 off, go for it, because of the fact that even though that it does shit for damage, it bounces 3 times, right? When it bounces 3 times, if it hits an ally, it'll give them swiftness. Reapplications of boons is really good when it's a lack of strips, right? Because it's gonna take more for them to strip your main boon, which is like alacrity, quickness, stability. You know what I mean? And then if it hits an enemy, it's gonna cripple them. But the main thing is, if it hits an enemy, it's gonna take away their Aegis, and removing Aegis is huge. Yeah, usually when raw goes in for a pull, I blast at my feet, because you have to generate might and fury for your subgroup. You want to ensure that your DPS player in your party has the highest amount of boons, so when they go in to damage on that pull, they're hitting with their full force. Yeah. You make sure that your DPS player is hitting full force rather than hitting with the wet noodle. In terms of what? It just depends on the player, really. Now, if the players are equally as balanced, I would rank Scrapper to be the highest. Because Barrier, because Might and Fury generation, it's a lot better than Druids. You'll sit on them with Might and Fury output, and at the same time, the thing that what Scrapper offers that Druid doesn't is super speed. Yes, it is only a cone in front of you. So if you can just target Raw the whole time, Elixir Gun on him, Elixir Gun back, blast that, get a blast out of the light field, and then you fumigate back into Raw. You Condi clear anybody between you and Raw. You always want to blast no matter what. Like the way to play Scrapper is increasing your blast per minute. So always be blasting. Like, let's say Elixir Gun, always be blasting. Like, you can drop Elixir Gun 5, like Elixir Gun 4, fumigate back to tag, and you can fucking hit Function Gyro to blast it, right? Because that's also a blast, and it gives you protection. You know what I mean? When Raw goes for, like, say we're pulling, I'll draw a fucking defensor where we're at. One, it's a reflect, right? It's a missile block. So all the pulls from, like, let's say Reapers that have no unblockables, you know what I mean? It gets negated. It will negate pin snipers. And the biggest thing is it's 3 extra stab for you and your party. It helps the Firebrands. It helps the Chronos. And it makes us 10 times more, like, bunkery because we have the extra output of stability. Right. So, like, if anything, it's gonna be... Oh, I had a burp. So it's start Showbow, do your Showbow rotation, right? Then we're pushing in, you throw Minefield, Medkit, Blast, keep everything on cooldown, right? And then you drop Elixir Gun 5 to a 4, and you fumigate back to tag, swap over, blast that with Function Gyro, go back into your short bow, do those rotations, and then fumigate should be up, so you fumigate while keeping your purge and your bulwark on cooldown. You have to make sure that they're on cooldown, right? When you have Alacrity, your Elixir Gun should be up, so you can do the same rotation. Then right after the secondary Elixir Gun, Medkit should be up, and then you go back into your full short bow rotation. Right? So yeah, while keeping every gyro on cooldown and making sure that you keep F1 on cooldown too. And you only want to touch your healing mist, which is your F2 on cooldown only if you think you or your sub it is your only stun break. Other than that, it's just keeping everything else on cooldown. Because you should always be blasting. Like it sounds dumb, but the ABB always be blasting is a very high standard for Scrappers. Because when you're blasting, you're giving Might, Fury, and Caracosa. Your Caracosa is your number 1 healing now. You don't even medkit auto. And there's gonna be times where, the blasts aren't ready, but the other skills are ready, just use them. But you have to make sure that there's always a field when you blast. You always have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Is OJ's in the tower?
Yeah, I should take a look
at
that.
Oh,
leave the tower.
I guess he was blind and didn't see
I can see it, guys.
Where's he going?
Dude, that's the most fucking...
That one. It's so good.
Most elaborate pin snipe